For today's video, we're going to take a look at everything that was included in today's patch, and I'll leave a link to the patch notes in the description for those who'd like to go check it out. And the first thing I want to go over are weapons that are now classified as SMGs. And those weapons include the Blastatron Mini, the Bobcat, the Founder's Quickshot, the Hemlock, the Lightning Pistol.
Wait a minute! Who are you?
The Monsoon, the Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat, the Riptide, the Silent Spectre, the Thrasher, the Typewriter. Speaking of which, there's now a slot where you can place your typewriter in the collection book, but you still won't be able to research it as of right now. The Venditech Blazer is another SMG, as well as the Viper. Before today's update, most of these weapons were categorized as either pistols or assault weapons, but after today, they're now classified as SMGs. And the reason I believe Epic made this change is so they can introduce wraps to save the world. Also, for those who are wondering, I would consider the top 3 SMGs to be the Bobcat, the Hemlock, and the Silent Spectre. But those are just my top 3. Let me know what your favorite SMGs are in the comments below. And when it comes to SMGs, they've added new transform keys and made it possible for mission alerts to award these new SMG transform keys. They also updated llama choice rewards to possibly award SMG schematics. And defender perks that increase assault or pistol damage now also increase SMG damage. So you can tell with our rifleman defender, it used to just increase assault weapon damage, but now it increases assault weapon and SMG damage. And the same thing is true for your gunslingers as well. Not only can they increase your pistol damage, but they can also increase your SMG damage. So not only can you use SMGs with riflemen, but you can also use them with gunslingers. Now there's quite a few heroes that buff your SMG damage, and there's quite a few that don't. So first, I'm going to go ahead and go through which ones work with SMGs. The Assault Ammo Recovery perk not only applies to assault weapons, but it also applies to SMGs. The Assault Crit Damage perk, which is Sledgehammer's perk, applies to SMGs as well. Rescue Trooper Havoc and Rescue Trooper Ramirez both have the Assault Damage perk, which increases your assault and SMG damage. First Shot Rio's First Assault perk also applies to SMGs as well as assault weapons. Double Agent Evelyn's Where's Lefty perk applies to pistols as well as SMGs. And these were all soldiers, but there is one Outlander that can buff your SMG damage, and that's Gunblazer Southie's Blaze of Glory perk, which not only increases your pistol damage, but it can also increase your SMG damage. So when it comes to the new SMG category, those are some of the heroes that you're going to want to use. Since machine pistols are now classified as SMGs, they'll no longer work with pistol heroes. So Beetle Justice Make It Count perk no longer buffs machine pistols, like the Lightning Pistol, or the Riptide, or any other machine pistol. Her perk now only applies to weapons that are classified as pistols. Same thing is true with Quick Draw Calamity. Her 6-shooter perk only applies to pistols. It will no longer apply to machine pistols. Ranger Deadeye's Hip Shot perk no longer buffs machine pistols either. Buccaneer Jonesy's Buckle perk no longer buffs machine pistols. And Swashbuckler Killhall's Swash perk only allows weapons classified as pistols to increase your sword damage. And that's not going to include machine pistols classified as SMGs either. So all of these heroes used to buff machine pistols, but now they only apply to weapons classified as pistols. So with that being said, I went ahead and made a couple of SMG loadouts. Obviously I haven't tried these out yet, but I just wanted to go ahead and put all the perks together to show you what kind of heroes to look out for. If you prefer using Outlanders, then you're going to want to go with Gunblazer Southie, because he's the only Outlander that has a perk that buffs SMG damage. A couple of other heroes I would recommend using as your commander are a couple of soldiers, one being Rescue Trooper Ramirez or Rescue Trooper Havoc, because they both increase your SMG damage. And you can also use Tactical Assault Sledgehammer because he increases your SMG crit damage. So those are probably going to be some of the best heroes when it comes to your commander slot. And for your support team, you're going to want to use heroes like your Rescue Trooper soldiers. First Shot Rio also applies to SMGs, and you can also use Tactical Assault Sledgehammer. If you add magazine size, you can use heroes like Bulletstorm Jonesy and Crackshot, and you can use other heroes to buff your SMG damage like Rex Jonesy, Skull Ranger Ramirez, and Crossbones Barrett. Obviously, I haven't tried any of these loadouts yet, but we may try to test them out sometime this week. Let me know which SMG weapon you all would like us to try while we test out these new SMG hero loadouts. So not much has changed when it comes to SMGs that were formerly classified as assault weapons. You're still going to want to use the same heroes and loadouts for them, but when it comes to machine pistols, you're no longer going to want to use Outlanders like we used to, other than Gunblazer Southie. Instead, you're going to want to use the soldiers that buff SMG damage. So to sum things up, it's less viable weapons for Outlanders and more weapons for soldiers. Or at least that's what it feels like. Also, I'm not sure if this is a bug or not, but as of right now, you can't increase the rarity of any SMGs. I assume we'll be able to in the future, but as of right now, it doesn't look like it's possible. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I want to go over in regards to SMGs. A couple of other things I wanted to mention in regards to today's patch is that there's been quite a few weapons added to the collection book. So if you go to ranged weapons, you'll see a new option that says SMGs. And as you can tell, there is a new slot for the typewriter. For those who wanted to add the typewriter to the collection book, unfortunately, you won't be able to research the typewriter as of right now. But there is a slot where you can place it. A couple of other weapons got some more slots added to the collection book, like the bundle bus. And I believe there was some for the holiday weapons as well. And the Rat King also has a slot in the Rat Rod weapons section. So for those of you who are looking to increase your collection book level, you can go ahead and scroll through them and see if there's any new ones that you can add. Also, this wasn't included in the patch notes, but an image of the new V6 Rat Rod rocket launcher has been leaked. And here's what that new V6 rocket launcher looks like. And the description that came with it says, explosive weapon, Rat Rod, shoots small fast rockets, launches up to 6 rockets before needing to reload. Does not consume ammo, but has very low durability. So it kind of sounds like it's going to be similar to the Cannonade because it shoots small, fast rockets. When we compare the two, it deals more damage than the Cannonade, but it has a slower fire rate, smaller magazine size, and a slightly slower reload speed. And obviously we'll try to get gameplay of it next week. But yeah, just wanted to point that out for those who wanted to see it. A couple of other things I should point out is that Thunder Thora will be returning to the weekly store this week, and she's going to be available for 2,800 gold. I do use her often in my support team, but we haven't gotten gameplay with her since the hero rework, so if y'all would like to see an updated gameplay of her, let us know in the comments below. But here are her abilities and her perks. Also, Penny's going to be replacing Crackshot in this week's Hit the Road event weekly quest, which I consider an absolute win. At least this way we no longer have to listen to Lars. And the last thing I want to go over are the changes to the rewards you get from high level missions in Twine Peaks. The changes that were made to high level Twine Peaks are an increase in the quantity of evolution materials and gold awarded by mission alerts. They also increased the rarity of weapons and survivors rewarded by mini boss mission alerts and made them significantly less likely to be transform keys. They also increased the chance of mission alerts rewarding evolution and perk materials, as well as the quantity of drops of rain, reperk, epic perk up, and legendary perk up awarded by missions and group missions. They also increased the chance of missions and group missions awarding perk materials and decreased the chance of awarding XP. And they also increased the chance of group missions awarding evolution materials as well. They increased the chance of missions awarding drops of rain, as well as missions awarding top tier ore and crystal rather than power cells. And they also increased the chance of missions awarding hero XP or schematic instead of survivor. Because as of right now, I don't believe many people in high-end Twine Peaks need survivor XP. A couple of other things I should mention is that they also increased the quantity of perk materials awarded by mission alerts in High Canny Valley as well. And they also increased the number of Mutant Storm and mini boss mission alerts considerably in Plankerton and Canny Valley. And the last thing I want to point out is that they also updated trap recycling and trap scoring. So traps recycled at maximum durability now give back all the ingredients used to craft them. So if you made a stack of traps and then changed the perk on your traps and you no longer want to use those traps, you can now recycle all of them and get all of your ingredients back. And traps no longer provide placement score and crafting score, but their activation score has been increased to compensate for this change. There's also a ton of bug fixes and changes, which I'm not going to go over. But again, I will leave a link to the patch notes in the description for those who'd like to go check it out. Anyways, let me know what you think about the changes made to SMGs in the comments below. And for those of you who have completed missions in high-end Twine Peaks, let me know what you think about the changes made to the rewards. But yeah, that sums up everything that came with today's patch. Again, let me know if y'all like to see gameplay of Thunder Thora, or would y'all like to test out some of these new SMG hero loadouts. Let me know which one y'all would like to see first. Anyways, that'll do it for this one. I hope y'all found the video useful, and thanks for watching.